This episode is sponsored by RainBets.
What's up, everyone? Today we have DJ Higgy, the man behind Southwest Productions, bringing the vibe to weddings, private events, and now the Mule End Summer Patio Party, which is going to be Sunday, September 21st from 1 to 5 p.m., $15 of tickets, and $20 at the door. Yo, I appreciate you coming on today, brother.
Thanks for having me on, man. It's always been a pleasure.
Yeah, but yo, tell me more about this event that's going on in London.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, the Mule, we're doing a Mule patio party, going down 1 to 5 p.m. I wanted to throw something different, give people a different aspect of party. I know as we get a bit older and we hit the 30s, never wants to be out late at night, so I figured let's do something during the daytime where everyone's free, sun's still shining, and let's take the last few rays of sunshine in summer and send it off the right way. Yeah. Also, I'll say, too, I always wanted to get, my group of people, my friends together, too, that because as we get older, we're not partying as much, we're not going out as more on the Fridays and Saturdays, so I figured this would be a great opportunity to get everyone together so we could all kind of, do our thing and, get to network and all that stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
And, how's it been kind of, with the working pieces of doing this?
It's been good, man. So I did one about 2 months ago, and it was a really big learning experience for me in terms of printing the tickets, making sure you get your promo out, and messaging people. So I feel like I learned a lot from the first one. So this one's been going a lot smoother, and it's going to be a really good turnout.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and how did you even get into this? Being a DJ and owning a business where you get to throw events like this.
Oh yeah, so DJing that goes way back to high school, and you know how it was you show up to your parties and no one's playing any good music. You're just running something off YouTube or Spotify. I know Spotify wasn't even a thing back then, so it was YouTube and just random MP3s. And I always found myself behind the table doing stuff on my phone. And one of my buddies was like, "Yo, I'm thinking about getting into DJing." I was like, "All right, let's do it, man." So he's actually still DJing out in Guelph, DJ S. So big shout out to him. He's doing Trapper's Palace, still killing it. So yeah, me and him would just be rocking high school parties, and we did that all the way until our fifth year in high school. And then
what was it about it though? What made you like it?
There's nothing that I could say that the feeling of when seeing people react to you at that song, or when you do a transition, how much you could command a party and can control the vibe. Once you got a taste of that, I couldn't let go. And I always was a big music person. I always say when I was growing up, I wanted to have every Lil Wayne song possible. If you guys know how much catalogs he has, it's physically impossible to do, but I was trying to torrent and have everything. So I was always ready collecting files. I was ready kind of on my way to becoming a DJ. But I think just doing the parties and kind of finding a place to solidify myself and explore my passions, that's when I really knew DJing is something I loved and I could do this for a long period of time.
Yeah. When did you get into your first club then? Where was it?
I was 18 years old. Doing it in Guelph, had the drinking bracelet on. I wasn't even allowed to. Had to hide it from my parents. I hope they don't see this podcast. So it's all good now. Yeah. So I lied to my parents. I told them I had a basketball game or something. I had to sleep over at my buddy's house, and I went and did an opening set for 2 hours at Frank's in Guelph. So it was pretty cool. I had my little tractor mixer, and it was just crazy to see how things have changed since then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then did you pause that hour? Because I know you played basketball at Western. Did you pause from DJing and take a break or?
Yes, I definitely did. So my tune, when I came to Western, my first and second year, I would say I was more of a bedroom DJ. My first year, second year, I sold everything. I obviously had bills to pay. I was like, hey, I got to take basketball seriously. It's really playing varsity basketball and then doing school is 60 hours plus a week. So I just didn't really have much time to really do much. And then when it came to my third and fourth year, when I finished playing basketball, and then thanks to Paul Marinowski, he was when Frog reopened, and then I bought back the decks and just kind of never looked back since then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you go to school for then?
So originally I was trying to do business, and in my second year I almost flunked out of school because of the multitasking at basketball, still trying to DJ and all that. So I ended up almost flunking out of school. I ended up finishing with a criminal degree. I had to do 5 years instead of 4. No regrets though. That fifth year was so much fun. So in that fifth year, just really kind of dug in with DJ and everything like that. Yeah.
I feel like it's both. The people I know, because I went to university as well, and the people who are doing sports and school, it's kind of crazy what they expect from you, the athletes.
Yeah.
To maintain such a high grade, but then you also have to be early workouts and all this.
Yeah, for sure. And just no different than schoolwork. It's all about putting in the extra work. That's what you will get in your results. And I think when I was doing the end of my second year, I realized I was just finishing practicing. I was just leaving the gym. Yeah. And that's when I kind of knew you're not if you're not going to go all in, then you should probably put your passion into something else. And with DJing, it's never felt like work to do the extra work. So,
was it tough to let go of ball?
Yes and no. It was. like luckily there's still leagues to play, and so I was still playing, and it was nice to not have to play every day. Like when you're in varsity, you're playing 6 days a week, so it's a lot on your body. On top of that, you have to keep up with your schoolwork. You still want to have a social life and all of that. So it was almost like relief to take us. Like that was the first summer I've ever had off. Like every summer you're always training. So that was the first summer I was like, it was like peace. And then when it comes to the school year, it's like school's actually not that hard because I'm not falling asleep in class every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely it was a shock, especially when September came around, because I'm always used to gearing up. But once it got going, I was in school and I kind of got my grounded where I was, because I kind of had to find who I was, because I didn't really have an identity anymore without basketball. Luckily, St. DJ helped me get there, and that's when things kind of like took off.
Yeah. And then, sorry, go ahead.
You can go first.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna say. So, like, even do you remember like what your biggest like event has been for DJing so far?
Probably one of the O-Week events I did. That or opening for Baca Not Nice was sick, 'cause I actually really liked his music at the time. But yeah, I did.
You opened for Baca?
Oh yeah, it was sweet. I got it on my Instagram still. Yeah, he was a cool.
How did you get that?
So luckily, I was a residency at Prohibition at the time, and they were booking. Yeah. So they were booking artists. I did 88 Glam when they were pretty big, and then Baca Not Nice was pretty cool. And then I just missed out on Tory Lanez. I went and saw him, but I was hoping to open for that, but it just didn't work out. But it was like the wave of like a lot of these artists were just on the come up, and they were like affordable to come down to London. They're really willing to do it. Yeah. So it was super cool to see that kind of scene really develop. And big ups to Prohibition, those guys over there. It's a lost love now. Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool to see them try, bring the hip hop scene together and bring some of those like guys from Toronto down that were buzzing. It was really cool to see at the time, because I don't like there's not the same amount of buzz you get from those Toronto artists like those guys had.
Yeah, no, not at all. And did you find like DJing for like a rapper compared to like a club scene, how much different it is?
The biggest difference is going to be doing their audio. Like club side of it, like end of the day, you're still playing music. You got to cater a little more to like OVO or whatever artist you're playing for. But again, it's coming in early, make sure their sound check is good, making sure they're comfortable and where they're performing, making sure they have the best sound they can too. Right, so you want them to be able to come back or talk well about the venue too. So it was more of that, and then selling tickets and bottles. So it was like the biggest difference, I'll say, than doing like a nightclub. Music wise, mostly the same, but again, it's more like the back end stuff we got to focus on. Yeah.
How important is like your equipment to you? Like, are you specific with the way like stuff is set up when you're gonna go like do a set?
Oh yeah, like for me, like it's I would say it's no different than like playing any other instrument. Like you get used to what your setup is, and that's kind of like your default. I do like I can play in other systems, but like I prefer to have my own mixer, because I just know it inside and out.
Yeah.
So if you want the best show, I'm gonna have to use my own gear. I could use other people's, but you're gonna be like an hour of kind of figuring it out and kind of getting used to it. Luckily, I have used a lot of different mixers and styles, but like anything that's going to be a turntable where I could scratch and have a good, what they call it the crossfader, where you can make a lot of those wiki noises. Like that's what's going to like make me different than everyone else, I'd say. Yeah.
But you're used to different types. You can play on like a variety of things.
Yeah, definitely, right? Like the CDJs is always going to be like the industry standard for us, especially because you have USB, so you could just switch DJs in and out, which is really nice. Yeah, but as I've moved more into like open format where I'm not just playing one genre, I like to use like even like my Rev 7 or like basically they're called battle mixers, where they have all their buttons basically in the middle of the mixer, and it's a lot easier for me to go from genre to genre, especially when I'm doing weddings.
Yeah, for sure. What do you find is like your favorite type of music to DJ, and like your least favorite?
That's a good question. Right now, my favorite is definitely Afrobeats. So when they hit me up for Horizon Fest, I was so pumped. I was like, I don't get to play Afrobeats unless it's on YouTube or my YouTube channel. Like it's very rare you get to do a full hour of Afrobeats. So I was like, I'm gonna crush this. So that's definitely the funnest. Oh, and I also like doing hip hop, R&B, but EDM is also a lot of fun as well because you get such a good high energy from that. And then I do like I don't really have a genre I dislike. I'd probably say more like screamo or like really heavy rock, like with the classics. Like as long as I know the words and I could sing to it, it's more of like a science to me. I'm not listening to like necessarily how it sounds. I'm looking to see how they react to it and how I can mathematically mix in the next song so that it keeps the party going. And and no like dead time in between songs. Okay.
And do you remember like a bombing moment where you just like nothing was working for you?
Oh, I got a funny one for you guys. So again, I was in Chatham doing a wedding, and usually you have like two outputs for your speakers, right, to hook everything up. I got lazy and I was like, I'm gonna daisy chain. So I'm gonna plug into one speaker, this speaker's gonna plug into another speaker, and the speaker's gonna plug into another speaker. So I could cover the whole room. It's working all great throughout cocktail hour, everything. I'm about to do their intro, so I'm about to bring in the bride and go, now we're welcoming Mr. and Mrs. Peterson. I can't remember the last name. As I'm doing their intro, I hear a pop noise.
Oh no.
Everything just died. I had no sound. Like you could barely hear it. And I'm like they're literally standing at the door like,
Oh.
and I'm like, no mic, nothing. I had no audio. So I'm like running around trying to adjust chords. I had no idea it was because I linked so many speakers together. So I'm thinking I brought another external mixer plugged in, nothing. So I literally panicked for a solid hour, and it was making a really a really loud like feedback sound too. So I was panicking. I ended up doing the whole event off just one speaker, and I had a little 8-inch one that I used for my ceremony. I just threw it on top of my table, and I just ran it at that. But yeah, that was definitely it was scary because like you think everything's running smooth, and then just like that, boom, like it just hits you, and you have to be able to just react and like try and make the best out of it. So yeah, I definitely learned my lesson from there. So I'll never daisy chaining multiple speakers. Especially with that setup I had. I have a whole complete different speaker system now.
Yeah.
But with that system, I never did that again.
But it's such a unique profession. Like you got to be on solve your problem. Because then some people could just choke and be like, yo, I don't know what's going on. You got to be resourceful with everything.
Because they're all looking at me. There's no one else I could be like, hey guys, can you fix it? Like there's no way. I am the AV guy. So it was for me, it was just a lot of trial and error. And like the thing that made it even tougher was a lot of stuff was taped down.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to undo all my tape jobs, have people stepping over chords whilst I'm trying to do this mid-make dinner or reception. So it was definitely a big learning curve. Make sure you always do your sound check. Make sure you can test your sound or your volume at a high level so that nothing's going to clip or that's ever going to happen. So luckily that hasn't happened since, but that was definitely one that sticks out to me, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be scary too because it's a wedding, right? So then people they're paying so much for it and they're expecting this big moment for that. To just happen. Probably more stressed, right?
Yeah, very stressed. And they're about to walk in as their first time as an official couple, holding the hands, and there's literally no sound.
Did you offer a discount or what?
No, luckily I crushed out the rest of the wedding. Again, it was a solid half an hour, 45 minutes. I had no idea what was going on. I just disconnected one of my far speakers and ran it off. Said my one main, and I had a smaller. And luckily, the venue was probably a little bit bigger than this studio. I'd say maybe, yeah. So it worked. Obviously, I wish I could have had a little more bass, but for what I was dealing with, it worked. So again, it's just about problem solving. Just staying positive, and trying not to look like you're sweating your ass off, you're about to lose it, right? Just saying it's never happened before. So I just tried to play cool and just. Yeah. I was doing everything on my end to make sure I could try and fix it too. I'm not just sitting there with my hands up, being like, "Oh, that is what it is," right? Yeah. So luckily, I was able to fix it, and again. I think with anything in this industry too, those are the learning curves you're going to have and lessons that you're never going to forget. So when you move forward, you'll never do those type of things again, and kind of helps you improve.
Yeah. Is that kind of why you tapped into the online YouTube DJing, because you're just trying to deal with yourself and your vibe as opposed to other things?
Yeah, because YouTube for me was just being able to give me a space to play music I actually like. We were just talking about Afrobeat, so give me a space where I get to play music that I actually like, and then just to be able to as well, for me to get something during the week, because obviously I work Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturday usually, so I have some days in between where I want to still be DJing and be doing something productive. If I'm going to practice, might also do something with a little bit of pressure and have a little better end result. So the YouTube channel has been a really great outlet for me to not only build my brand and connect with other people, but just explore my passions. And I'm still trying to do different types of genres that I've never played before to be able to build my DJ catalog and explore.
Yeah. What was it the first time when you were streaming and kind of going through the motion of being a DJ for nobody there, or at least not knowing that they're there?
Yeah, because you said your favorite thing was seeing the reaction of people, right?
Yeah.
So did that change at all?
A little bit. The good thing is when I was doing a lot of streaming before I got on YouTube, Twitch was everything, especially during COVID. So Twitch was a really, really good app for being interactive with people. So if you did a good transition, people could put emotes in the chat, and you would have something called an emote wall. So now your whole screen is just filled with emotes going everywhere, and people were able to interact and I was sick, put their emotes in and get it going across the screen. So you still got some good energy to feed off of. It definitely was different doing it on your own. But that's when you really just got to tap into the music, and really, again, you're still dealing with the chat, so you're still talking to people. So that's where you had to really draw your energy and inspiration from.
Yeah. How was the transition from being I guess just DJing at clubs and then having your own business, creating this as a business?
Oh, that's a good. It was a hard transition for me. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say I got fired or let go, but. When I was one club that had a residency, and they're we're going to move on to obviously a younger DJ. He's going to bring out people, do balls. understandable. I can't really argue with them. Like as a business owner myself, I get where they're coming from. So when that happened, I was already doing weddings, but I was never in it full time. So when that happened, I really had to take a look and be like, what is your future? Like, where do you see yourself in 5-10 years DJing? And my brain was going, I want to be able to DJ, but I also want to have other DJs working for me, so I don't feel the stress to have to play every Friday, Saturday, Thursday night, where you could burn out really fast.
Yeah, yeah. And then you just like decide to just open it up, like.
Yeah, I had some help. I'm not gonna lie. So like I was working for another wedding company at the time, AK Productions, so Alex Kirshner, a great guy. So he's the one that kind of got my foot in the door. And then once people started seeing me play, they realized my style was really unique and different because I come from a nightclub background. So that style of mixing doesn't really happen at weddings. So when they hear me, they want, like, there's obviously going to be more couples there that are looking for a wedding DJ down the line. Then they would book me, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And then it came to the point where like I had people hitting me up and like I'm already booked, but I have my cousin or I have a friend that I could help you out, and that's how the company started growing. And then I got a 360 photo booth. It went really well for the first year, but I ran into some structural and like what's the word I'm looking for? Not systematic, but operations problems. That's what I'm looking for. Where in terms like the case was so big, I was hard for me to find people to run it. Yeah. So I bought a more sleeker, more compact photo booth that does printed copies, and it's been a success. I just launched it this year. Yeah, and it's been doing really good.
Where'd that idea come from? Was it from already being in like the wedding space and you just wanted to add more things to it?
Yeah, add more to it. The biggest thing it's all about potential. Like I'm already showing up here. I'm seeing other also book photos. Like I could do that as well, and I think they work so well hand in hand. The 360 is definitely a fun and really cool interactive piece to have at a wedding. It just took up so much space. A lot of wedding venues didn't have space for it. And again, you had to have someone with an SUV or a van. Yeah. So my wife couldn't ever do it. I would never make her lift up that case. Like that thing was like 100 pounds. So you always have to have 2 or 3 people working it. And there's a lot of moving parts. It's spinning. You're doing like proms or like events with younger kids. You got to worry about them not hitting the arm while it was going around. So it was a lot of stress on me. Where this other booth I have now, like it has different price points. Where if you want it at self run, you get it for like $250 for 4 hours or 3 hours, and I just have to build it, and I just get to walk away and leave and let it do its thing for 3 hours. I don't have to man it, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's so sick.
Yeah, so once I got that all packaged up and out there, it just complements people hand in hand. I don't have to explain to people what it is. Here's my photo booth prices. Here's my DJing. I'll obviously explain the DJing side because there's a lot more that goes into it. But everyone knows what a photo booth and has used one before.
Yeah. So have you kind of backed away from like the spinning one then?
I'm selling it to a business partner that I have. Okay. So it's still going to be in my company, but I want to give it to someone that's going to put more time and effort into it so they could, because right now it's just sitting in my garage collecting dust. Like I've had a couple inquiries, like I actually just had one last weekend, but it was kind of last minute. I didn't have anyone to run it, man. So I was like, damn, man. So lost it on that. But so that was the biggest thing for me is like I always want to have extras that I could add onto my DJing service, but it's like, what's going to be the best bang for your buck? Like, what are most people going to relate to? Because as much as I love to sell CO2, more lights, more this, like, the couples only are going to spend so much on that, but a photo booth with a printed copy is timeless. Like I still have some pinned up on in my room or on my fridge, right? So once I kind of saw that, I was like, this is the direction our company should go in.
Yeah, that's smart. That's super smart.
Sorry, when you DJ clubs, like, do they expect you to always be the promotional side? Is that how that connection usually works, or?
It depends. They definitely want you to promote. Some places, no, you don't have to bring numbers. But if for longevity wise, if you want to keep coming back consistently, you gotta. It's kind of not like I wouldn't say it's like all 100%. You have to bring the L crowd, but the more people you bring, the more pull you're gonna have. You're gonna be able to work different places
in a way, like
right, yeah, and it makes your night better too. So the more people and you're interacting with, like it's gonna make your whole experience better. So I wouldn't say it's not necessary, but again, we were talking about it's doing those little extra things that are gonna put you ahead and. If the harder you work, like the faster you're going to climb the ladder and be able to go and do different places and stuff like that. And that's why I wanted to do the private events. So I get a bit better understanding of how event planning works. I've always really focused on the music side. So now I want to see more of the back end in terms of how to, making the flyers. How do we actually get people to show up through the door? And how do I, keep this going on a consistent basis?
Yeah. I remember you even said earlier how you did business and like for schooling.
Yeah.
Did that translate at all into like helping you now run your business?
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially the accounting and marketing, because I always had a knack for business. Like I was always doing it as a kid. So I always was something I had a passion for. I just didn't know what was going to be the end product. So I remember I had like a little notebook, and I was like tallying down like all the money I would make from DJing, even if it was like a case of beer or something like that. It was something. So definitely that first year of business definitely helped me, like the business 101. Just it was a general, right? So you did marketing, there was accounting, HR, all that was in there. So it kind of gave me just enough to understand how business works. I'm lucky my mom's an accountant as well, so books and that started has been pretty good.
Yeah.
And again, it's all since COVID, everything was been on social media. Just like I was doing my Twitch channel to get people to come in there. It's like the same idea in terms of trying to get booked for a wedding. It's just getting good content out there, showing people that what you're doing, and then having an easy way to communicate with them and to relate, and hopefully, have them book with you.
Was it hard for you to like first start outsourcing like projects? Because like you want to DJ a specific way, and then having another DJ like representing your company. Like, was that hard?
They have their challenges for sure. I was lucky enough that I got linked up with one guy. He was hungry, and the company he was working for, they weren't really giving him gigs. So he was already had all the gear, everything. So I was just like, if nothing happened, hey, I have my buddy here. He's going to do the weddings for me, and I'd train him up. So we'd do some Zoom calls. We'd come over, and I'd kind of show him how I would do it. But as of recently, he doesn't work for me anymore. So now I've had to outsource, and actually I have some of my family working for me now. And it's kind of cool looking back at it, because when I started DJing, my whole family was against it.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, you're a basketball player. What are you doing? This is a detriment to your career. You're going to be out late now, partying, da-da-da-da. So it was kind of, a lot of back and forth. No one really understood the vision, right? Because I was in high school. Like, they just thought I was going out to get drunk and meet girls, right? But at the end of the day, like, it was something I was actually really passionate about. So it was kind of cool to see it full circle. Now I have my older cousin out there, learning from me, now he's doing weddings for me. It's like, wow, man, it's kind of crazy. The family went from like, oh, I don't know what you're doing, to now like fully supporting it, and now have family actually working for me. It's just pretty cool.
That's awesome.
How is it working with family? Because I work with my two brothers, and like, it's tough and it's blessed in some ways,
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough. My cousin Adrian, he's been in the music industry for a while. Who's actually on like Much Music and stuff, doing rap back then. So
really?
he was way bigger than me, man. So he already had the whole personality and the appearance. I just had to train him up a little bit on the music side and how to mix. And now that that's happened, he's off and going. So luckily for me, I've trained some DJs before in my past. So when I had to bring these guys on board, it wasn't like, oh, what do I do? You know what I mean? So I was able to, again, because of the online days, I had everything set up through Zoom, so I could just do a Zoom call with him and show him how my gear works, how a ceremony, and kind of, go through the steps and everything like that. And now he's crushing out weddings for me.
Yeah.
What is the process of teaching someone when you take someone under your wing? Like,
yeah, so the toughest part about being a DJ is being able to read the dance floor. Like the transitions, yes, it's important, but end of the day, people just want to hear the songs they want to hear, right? So sometimes it's almost better to take someone that doesn't have an ego. They've never done a wedding, so they're just gonna they know, like, if I give you these 200 songs, they're gonna stick within that because they know, like, I've told them this is gonna work. Where sometimes you'll work with a DJ that has in their brain, like, I'm a house DJ, but it's at a country band, they just want to play house music.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough from that standpoint to work with people that are really open to learning, and they understood, like, they've been watching me do it, so they know I'm not bullshitting. Yeah. So for them, and like, it's definitely, it has its challenges for sure, but you just have to be patient, and just know that, like, they're working their hardest, and you got to make some time out of your day, right, to be able to help them all. If they have any questions, you have to be available for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think like the little kid version of you would be proud of the man you are today?
Oh, 100%. Maybe you probably thought I was playing basketball a little more at a higher level. But yeah, because like when I was growing up, like I like my biggest influences were like, I don't know, like Skrillex, Bloody Beetroots were really big. David Guetta. I'm trying to think like the early 2000s. Like Calvin Harris was just coming up. So when I started DJing, my whole goal was to be to be that big main stage EDM producer. But I learned pretty fast that I don't produce. I don't make my own music. So that whole dream had to take a turn somewhere. And then I was lucky and fortunate enough to learn from some of the other wedding company or DJ wedding company owners and how they operate and run their business. And I kind of would take pieces here and there and just add it into my own and build it to where I am now. So I'll definitely say I'm proud of where I'm at. I did not think I'd end up being here, but I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah. Was it hard to like just kind of, because everybody does want to be a producer, right? Like that's kind of like the dream. Was it hard to kind of take that back and like just be a DJ?
Yeah, for sure, because I quit piano when I was in grade 5. So like I had a musical background. I knew what I was doing, but like I didn't really have the same direction I was at now. So I was doing like hip hop beats, and like I'd make them, and then people are trying to buy them off me for like $20. I'm like, that's not really like worth it. So kind of reality kind of slapped me in the face. And then I kind of knew what I had to do moving forward. So I still make mashups and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get into sell, but I've mostly been focusing on live events and just making sure my sets are going to be unique so no one else is going to be able to hear them or hear that style of music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How important has like collaboration been with you? Because like as you can see, we have Blackfly right here. You know what I mean? Like let's talk. Like if you could talk about like kind of like the sponsorship and like the just partnerships in general in the community.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been a building point for me because this is the second event we've done. So I've been fortunate enough to Blackfly has been with me since day one, since like doing the online streaming days. I've been able to have a really good business relationship with them, where they've been able to supply me with a product, and I've been able to do a pretty good job marketing it. But it's you can't build anything on your own. You need to work with other people. You have to understand that like everyone brings something different to the table, and it could help you in so many different ways. You just have to know how to harness that in and put it in the right direction. So in terms of sponsorship and having collaboration with other people, just like we're doing here today, and that's why for me too is you got to get outside, man. Like it's like you can't just post a flyer on Instagram and expect people to show up, right? So you have to go out, support other DJs events, go meet other people, come do some podcasts, right? And then talk. And like a lot of people too, I think they don't even message, like they don't really try and give much sponsorship, right? You don't know until you ask, right? Yeah. So you could message a couple different companies, see what they're willing. You'd be surprised how much they're willing to help you out, and they want to support local.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. We gotta talk to Mr. Blackfly.
Yeah. I'll make sure you guys are hooked up.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Is there anything else you wanted to like say, get off your chest, or like let anybody know about?
In terms of just like music, or just like in general?
Just in general.
All I will say, man, is as you grow up, you gotta do something extracurricular. I don't care if it's art, basketball, dancing. You got to do something outside of school. Not only because it makes you look forward to waking up every day and having something to do. You have to learn how to fail, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. And I think that's been the biggest piece in how I've been able to stay successful, because I don't look at like doing something wrong as complete failure. You're done. It's like it's a learning experience. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, I think they compartmentalize it. Or they just blank it out, where for me, I'm really big on constructive criticism, and especially for myself, and then building my own brand and whatever you want to go. So the biggest thing is like everyone has goals, but you're not going to get there all in one day. So you have to be able to understand how hard you're going to have to willing to work, that some of those hard work are going to lead to mistakes, not to quit, keep going, moving forward. And you have to believe, right? You have to be able to, see your vision through and know that it's not going to happen overnight.
And like you said, like kind of just like putting yourself actually out there. You know what I mean? Like doing the extracurricular. One of my biggest regrets in like uni was like why was I not part of like clubs that I thought were interesting? Like, maybe because I thought it was too cool, whatever. But it's just like actually just going out there, talk to people, the community. That's the only way you're really going to connect with anything and build something, like you said.
Get outside, right?
Get outside.
Yeah, gotta touch grass, yeah.
No, for real. But yeah, no, so I guess you want to kind of just like wrap up with like the event and how people can come support it?
Yeah, for sure. So if you guys are looking to come out to our end of summer meal party, you could hit me up personally on my Instagram at DJ Higgy, or you could email southwestproductions1@gmail.com for tickets. Again, we're doing $15 at the door, or it's $15 pre and then $20 at the door. We're going to be giving away some amazing products. You're going to be hearing some amazing music, not just from myself. I have another DJ, so DJ Prince is going to be helping us out. I have my cousin, Jenny, Marianne. She's going to be singing. She's going to be doing some covers for us as well. And then I have my homie Squeeze is going to be finishing it off, another really good up-and-coming London rapper. So giving you guys a really good show Sunday coming up.
Yeah, no, we're excited. We're excited for it. We're definitely gonna be there and support. And yeah, honestly, we'll talk more about this Blackfly because the flavors are crazy.
Yeah.
It's like they have so many different types.
I know, right? So you got to come support, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, and then make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
100%. Peace.